Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm so excited about our next guest here. We have Dr. Frank.Rodriguez, our new superintendent of Beaufort County Schools. Congratulations, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you?
It's so good to have you here.
Glad to
so
be here.
Good. Always a good day here. So welcome to the Low Country. So you've been primarily Florida based.
Yes, I lived in Florida my whole life, actually. I grew up in Miami and went to school at Florida State in Tallahassee, and then settled back in the North Broward, South Palm Beach area, and began my teaching career in Palm Beach County.
Cool. And I think what's so exciting is you've dedicated your life to education. I mean, from your bachelor's, your master's, your PhD in leadership. Yeah. So talk about how your backstory of how education came to you. It kind of found you.
Yeah, education's always been really important in my family. First of all, my grandfather had to make a difficult decision to move from Cuba and come to the United States and bring his family in the late 1950s and early 1960s. And they had to leave everything behind and start over. And so as a little kid growing up, my grandfather always used to say to me, hey, make sure you're getting a great education and make sure you're doing your part in it, because that's the one thing nobody can ever take away from you. Yeah. That was his experience.
And you're bilingual, right?
I'm bilingual,
yeah.
Yep. And so, for me, I got a family of educators. My dad is an educator, my stepmom's an educator, I have an uncle that's an educator, and my sister-in-law is an educator. And for me, I started coaching soccer right out of high school, and I just fell in love with the, what it felt like when I would teach kids something in practice, and then they'd turn around and execute it in the game. I thought it was the greatest feeling in the world, and I knew I wanted that forever.
Sure.
And so I went into education, and I just had to figure out what I wanted to teach. And for me, it was history. I loved history. So
initially it was social studies.
That's
then
right.
You've taught high school and elementary school.
I've taught high school social studies, and then I served as an elementary principal and as a secondary principal.
So I think having that experience brings so much to the administration. I mean, so I don't want to say frequently, but a lot of times there's administration, just administration. They don't have the trenches experience, Yeah. So I think that's fantastic that you're bringing that on board.
Yeah, I think it's so important because you need to see things from the eyes of a teacher and the eyes of a student learner, and that happens in the classroom.
And you also have the eyes of a parent.
I do have the eyes of a parent. I have 2 boys that are in our school system.
And that's so cool. I mean, you just have this whole holistic approach. And a new deputy is coming on board.
That's right. Yes, just got approved by the board to create the deputy position. Yeah. And the neat thing about this is that it's within the budget, not asking for any additional dollars. It's cost neutral to the school district. But I believe it's important that we're able to dedicate and build the capacity of our principals and our leadership teams at schools. Yeah. And it's part of developing our human capital so we can make sure we're providing a great education for all kids.
It's kind of cloning.
Yes.
But we have a kind of a spread out area here.
Yeah.
If you're doing FaceTime in St. Helena or Whale Branch, and then you have to do Bluffton, your day is shot. Yes. You know what I mean? Just in terms of travel. Yeah. So being able to have boots on the ground in multiple places, I think, is really important. It's absolutely important. Okay, so you're really reaching out into the community. I mean, we've had a little bit of scandal,
Yes.
And I think just coming on July 1. Yes. So we just got started August 19th.
That's right.
So talk a little bit about how that went, but also how you're really reaching out to the community, because you have this Listen and Learn tour that's coming up, which I think is really innovative.
That's right. So essentially, building trust is really important, right? And it's so critical, and especially here in our community. And so coming in new, what I wanted to do is make sure I engage the community and get them to learn a little bit about me, right? And understand about how I operate, and to make sure that they know sort of my vision and my expectations for the school system. And I want to hear from them, because I want to hear what they think is going really well in Beaufort County Schools, and where they see that we need to improve upon or grow. And that Listen and Learning tour is designed to do that and to get me some of that critical information. Yeah. Because ideally then I take that information and I use it as part of building our strategic plan for the school district. And that 5-year strategic plan then
5 year, I was just going to ask you,
not just Frank.Rodriguez's strategic plan, not just the board's strategic plan, but it becomes our strategic plan as a community for our schools. And
your teachers having the same visions as your principals.
Absolutely.
And I've noticed there's a lot of autonomy with the principals in a certain way. They kind of their schools all have like a great flavor and a great brand to them.
Yeah, well, every school has its own DNA, if you will, and
under the umbrella of a vision.
And that's the important part.
Yeah.
That's the important part, right? That we're all charging towards the same end.
Well, we are so excited to see what's going to be happening in Beaufort County Schools. Big fans of the Beaufort County school system. best of wishes, best luck for this year, this upcoming year, and we look forward to keeping up with you.
Thank you so much. I'm excited and glad to be here with you today.
Wonderful.
Look forward to a great year.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.